Arsenal's summer rebuild appears to be extending well beyond the playing squad, with reports suggesting lead performance coach Sam Wilson is set to leave the club after more than a decade in North London. According to reports, Wilson is preparing to take up a more senior role elsewhere in Europe, with Juventus widely tipped as his likely destination. Wilson first joined Arsenal in 2014 and has worked with the first team for the past 7 years, becoming a trusted member of Mikel Arteta's backroom staff during one. Juventus' move gathers momentum. The reported switch would reunite Wilson with former Arsenal head of performance Darren Burgess, who now serves as Juventus Director of Performance. Importantly, the BBC reports that this is understood to be Wilson's own decision, rather than one forced by Arsenal. The club were reportedly keen for him to remain, but the opportunity to step into a more senior position appears to have proved too attractive to turn down. Should the move be completed, Arsenal will lose another highly respected member of their performance team at a time when significant changes are already taking place behind the scenes. Medical department continues to evolve. Wilson's expected departure follows the exit of head of sports medicine Dr. Zafar Iqbal, who left the club after Arsenal's Champions League final defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. The Gunners have since been conducting a review of their medical department, with Arteta's longtime associate Joaquin Acedo consulted during last season as part of that process. Meanwhile, reports indicate Arsenal are close to strengthening their medical team by appointing rehabilitation specialist Eniko Angulo, who is set to leave Real Betis after 12 years. Angulo recently posted an emotional farewell to supporters, adding further weight to expectations that he will soon begin a new chapter in North London. A necessary refresh or cause for concern. Staff changes behind the scenes are a normal part of football, particularly at elite clubs where talented coaches and specialists are regularly offered opportunities elsewhere. However, Arsenal supporters will undoubtedly hope the ongoing overhaul ultimately strengthens a department that came under scrutiny following several significant injuries last season. With Arteta determined to build on last season's Premier League triumph, ensuring the club has the strongest possible performance and medical structure could prove just as important as any summer signing. What do you make of Arsenal's backroom changes this summer, Gooners? Are these simply part of the natural evolution of a top club, or do you have concerns about the number of experienced staff departing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Arsenal's lead performance coach Sam Wilson is set to leave the club and join a European team. Wilson, who has been at the Gunners since 2014 and with the first team for the past 7 years, has been strongly linked to Juventus as former Arsenal head of performance Darren Burgess is director of performance in Turin. Sources say that the move is Wilson's decision, and he could have stayed with the Gunners, but is leaving for a more senior role elsewhere. His departure comes after a number of backroom changes at Arsenal, who last season won the Premier League title for the first time in 22 years. Despite lifting silverware, Arsenal suffered a number of injuries, and head of sports medicine Dr. Zafar Iqbal has left the club with the process of replacing the medic, who also worked at Crystal Palace and Liverpool, underway. Iqbal was informed of the change in the aftermath of Arsenal's Champions League final loss to Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal have been conducting a review into their medical department, with Mikel Arteta's long-term friend Joaquin Acedo consulting for the Gunners last season. The physio has known Arteta since his days as a player at Everton. Reports say that rehabilitation specialist Eniko Angulo is leaving Real Betis after 12 years at the end of this month, following an approach from Arsenal. Angulo posted an emotional goodbye letter on social media, with his anticipated appointment part of Arsenal's move to revamp their medical department. Arsenal are set to part company with lead performance coach Sam Wilson, ending his 12-year stint at the club according to the BBC. Wilson, who arrived at the Gunners in 2014 and has worked with the first team for the past 7 years, is anticipated to take on a more senior role elsewhere. His departure is part of a broader shake-up of Mikel Arteta's backroom team, following Arsenal's first Premier League title triumph in 22 years. Despite their achievement, the club suffered a significant injury burden throughout the campaign, triggering a review of the medical and performance departments. Head of Sports Medicine Dr. Zafar Iqbal has also left. According to the BBC, he was told of the decision shortly after Arsenal's Champions League final loss to Paris Saint-Germain, with the club now searching for his successor. The Portuguese expert has previously worked at Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. A review of the club's injury issues had already been carried out prior to the changes at the Sober Realty Training Centre. A review of the medical department is understood to be taking place. As part of that process, Real Betis rehabilitation specialist Nico Angulo is set to relocate to North London after 12 years with the Spanish club. His appointment represents a crucial element of Arsenal's restructuring of their medical department. Following confirmation of his exit from Betis, Angulo shared a heartfelt farewell message on social media, highlighting the deep connection he had forged with his boyhood club before heading to the Emirates.